Find a comfortable position. Allow your body to settle into the support beneath you. Let your hands rest gently. Soften your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Take a slow, easy breath in and gently breathe out. Again, breathing in and breathing out. With every exhale, allow yourself to release the busyness of the day. There's nowhere else you need to be, nothing you need to accomplish. For these next few moments, simply be here in this body, in this moment, in this life. Today we honor a birthday, your birthday. Maybe birthdays feel different now than they once did. When you were young, a birthday meant growing up. It meant becoming bigger, more independent, more capable. There was excitement in wondering who you might become. But somewhere along the way, birthdays began asking different questions. Not, who will I become when I grow up? But maybe, how do I feel about growing older? Take a slow breath. You don't have to answer that question with only one feeling. Maybe a part of you wants your birthday to be remembered. You want someone to notice, someone to say, I'm glad you were born. I'm glad you're here. And yet, maybe you don't want to be the center of attention. You don't need everyone staring at you. You don't need a room full of people singing while you wonder where to look. Perhaps what your heart really wants is something quieter. To be remembered without being displayed. To be celebrated without having to perform. To know that your presence in this world has mattered. And so today, imagine that the universe or a spirit or your angel has prepared a different kind of birthday celebration for you. A quiet one. A sacred one. Created especially for you. Imagine yourself standing at the beginning of a beautiful woodland path. It's late afternoon, and golden sunlight filters through the trees. The air is warm and soft. A gentle breeze touches your face. You begin walking. There's no need to hurry. With each step, you feel yourself moving farther from the expectations of the world and closer to something within yourself. Something ancient, something peaceful, something that's always known who you are. Ahead of you stands an enormous old tree. Its branches reach toward the sky. Its roots disappear deep into the earth. You walk toward it and place your hand on its trunk. Feel the rough bark beneath your palm. This tree has been here for many years. It's known brilliant springs and quiet winters. It's survived storms, drought, wind, lightning. There are scars along its trunk. A few branches have broken. Other branches have grown in unexpected directions as they reach again and again toward the light. And somehow, all this has made the tree more beautiful. No one looks at an ancient tree and wishes it were a sapling. We stand beneath it in wonder. We admire its strength, its character, its enormous branches, the shelter it offers, the history held within. Maybe there's something here for you to remember. You too have lived through many seasons, some filled with joy, some filled with sorrow. Some you would gladly live again, and others you're grateful are behind you. There have been storms. There have been unexpected turns. There have been losses. There have been moments of extraordinary beauty. And through every one of them, you kept becoming. Take a breath and allow yourself to feel the years behind you, not as numbers, not as candles on a cake, but as a life, your life. Imagine that every version of you is beginning to walk toward you now. The little kid you once were, the teenager who wondered what their life would become, the young adult who dreamed, the person who fell in love or had their heart broken, the person who made mistakes, the person who tried again, the person who discovered they were stronger than they knew, the person who laughed, the person who cried, the person who sometimes knew exactly what they were doing, and the person who had no idea what to do next. Let them gather around you. Every age you have ever been still belongs to you. Growing older didn't erase them. You carried them with you. Perhaps the child still brings wonder. The young adult still brings possibility. The person in the middle years brings courage. And the person you are today brings something none of them possessed yet. Wisdom. Not the wisdom of knowing everything, something far more precious. The wisdom that comes from having lived. You know now that life can change in an instant. You know that people are complicated. You know that sometimes hearts break and somehow continue loving. You know that many things you once worried about were never worth the worry. You know that joy often arrives quietly, in morning sunlight, in a friend's voice, in music, in laughter, in the warmth of someone's hand, in a moment when, for no particular reason, you realize, I'm glad to be here. Maybe this is one of the sacred gifts of growing older. You begin to understand what matters and what doesn't. Take another slow breath. Now bring your awareness gently to your body. Maybe this is where growing older becomes more difficult. Your body has changed. There might be things it once did easily that require more effort now. There might be aches where there were no aches before. You might sometimes look in the mirror and wonder when certain changes appeared. Maybe there are moments when you miss your younger body. You don't have to pretend otherwise. The universe doesn't ask you to be grateful for every ache. You don't have to love every change that comes with age. You're simply invited to look at this body with tenderness. Place a hand somewhere on your body that feels comforting and quietly say, "This is the body that carried me here." This body has carried you through every single day of your life. It's taken you places. It's held people you love. It's danced, walked, worked, rested, recovered. It's felt warm sunshine, cool water, soft blankets, gentle breezes. It's allowed you to hear music, taste sweetness, smell flowers, watch sunsets, laugh until you could hardly breathe. Maybe instead of asking your body to remain young, you can simply thank it for staying with you. And maybe you can promise, I'll try to be gentle with you. I'll listen when you need rest. I'll appreciate what you can still do. I won't measure your worth by youth. Because this body is not failing some test of usefulness. It's doing something far more extraordinary. It's carrying a human life through time. Now imagine sitting beneath the ancient tree. Nearby is a small table. On it stands one beautiful candle. No crowd surrounds you. No one is staring. There is only you, the tree, the quiet presence of spirit or your angel, and this small flame. Beside the candle is a little plate. Perhaps once there would have been birthday cake there, and maybe you miss that. Maybe you wish you could still have the cake you remember, the cake your mom made you especially for your birthday, the sweetness, the frosting, the decorations, the little ritual that simply said, today is different from other days. Let yourself miss it. Growing older sometimes asks us to surrender things we didn't want to surrender. But then something begins to happen. The empty plate begins to fill, not with cake, but with moments from your life. A person you love, a friendship, a beautiful morning, a place you visited, something you created, a moment when someone made you laugh, something difficult you survived, something you finally learned to forgive, a time you were unexpectedly brave, a moment of peace, a moment of wonder, a moment when you knew that you were loved. The plate becomes overflowing, and you realize your life has been feeding you all along, not always with what you wanted, but again and again with something that helped you become who you are. Now look at the candle. Watch the flame dance gently. This candle doesn't represent how many years you've lived. It represents the light within you. The light that was there when you were born. The light that belonged to the little girl or little boy. The light that remained through every season. The light that is still here. You are still here, and your life is still happening. There are mornings you have not awakened to yet. There are conversations you haven't had yet, songs you haven't heard, places you haven't seen. There are people you haven't yet met, things you haven't yet created. There are laughs you haven't yet laughed. There are ordinary afternoons ahead that could someday become precious memories. There are still moments waiting somewhere in your future when you will unexpectedly think, I'm so glad I got to experience this. Your story isn't finished. Take a slow breath and allow yourself to receive that truth. Your story is not finished. Now imagine the people who've loved you throughout your life. Some might still be here. Others might no longer walk this earth. Imagine them standing quietly at the edge of the clearing. No one crowds you. No one asks anything of you. They simply surround you with love. And perhaps behind them are others, people who came before you, ancestors whose names you know, and others whose names have been forgotten. Lives stretching backward through generations, and somehow you sense they are saying, "Keep going. There's more for you here. Don't be afraid of the years." Now Spirit, or your angel, comes even closer, not as a voice from somewhere far away, but as a quiet knowing within your own heart. And the message is simple. You were never meant to remain young. You were meant to become. You were meant to gather experience, to deepen, to soften, to learn, to discover, to become more fully yourself. Age isn't taking your life away from you. Age is evidence that life has stayed with you, year after year, breath after breath, sunrise after sunrise. You've been given time, and time has shaped you. Maybe there's holiness in that. Maybe growing older isn't merely something to endure. Maybe it's an invitation, a gradual movement away from who the world told you to be and toward who you have always been underneath. Less proving, less pretending, less worrying about what others think. More truth, more compassion, more freedom, more willingness to say, "This is who I am." Take a deep breath and look again at the ancient tree. Maybe one day we'll stand beneath a tree like this and say, "Imagine everything this tree has seen." And perhaps that truth is true of you as well. Imagine everything you've seen, everything you've learned, everything you've survived, everything you've loved. There's something magnificent about a life that has been lived for many years. You don't have to call yourself old. You don't have to call yourself young. Today, you can simply call yourself alive. Alive in this moment, alive in this body, alive in this extraordinary unfinished life. Now reach toward the candle. Instead of blowing out the flame, imagine gently lifting it from the candle. Bring it toward your heart and watch as the tiny flame enters your chest and begins glowing there, warm, golden, steady. Your light, the same light that has traveled with you through every age you have ever been, and quietly repeat, "I bless the child I once was. I honor the person I've been. I welcome the person I'm becoming. I can miss what is past without wishing my life backward. I can honor my changing body with tenderness. I can receive the wisdom of my years. I don't have to fear growing older. There's still life waiting for me." And now, imagine the universe giving you one final birthday blessing. May you never measure your life only by the years behind you. May you measure it by the love you've given, the love you've received, the wisdom you've gathered, the beauty you've noticed, and the light you still carry. Take a long, gentle breath in and slowly release it. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel your body breathing. Feel your heart beating. You are here. And maybe that's the greatest birthday gift of all. Another year didn't simply make you older. Another year made your life larger. Another year gave you more memories, more understanding, more depth, more of yourself. And now another year waits before you. You don't have to know what it'll bring. Simply meet it. One morning at a time, one breath at a time, one beautiful, ordinary moment at a time. And when fear of growing old finds you again, return to the image of the ancient tree. Remember its scars, its strength, its deep roots, its sheltering branches. And remember, the tree didn't become less beautiful as it aged. It became more completely what it was always meant to be. And so are you. Take one last breath and quietly say, I'm not simply getting older. I'm becoming deeper. I'm becoming wiser. I'm becoming more fully myself. I'm gathering a life, and my life is still unfolding. When you're ready, gently open your eyes and step into this new year of your life, knowing that you don't need to fear the years ahead. You only need to live them. And may this birthday remind you not simply that another year has passed, but how extraordinary it is that you were here for it, and how wonderful it is that you're still here.